Hello! Good afternoon and maayong udto mga partners from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Welcome to our very first ever Cybersecurity Talks session, the first of many sessions we've prepared specially for you, our partners, to help keep you one step ahead in today's digital world. I'm Hannah from the ARK ONE marketing team, and I'll be your host for today's exciting session. And of course, I'd like to warmly acknowledge the presence of our CEO, Mr. Erwin Padrique. Hi, Sir Erwin. And now let me ask you, mga partners, familiar ba tayo sa phishing, ransomware, data breaches? Naranasan nyo rin ba yung kamuntik-muntikan nyo nang maklik yung isang suspicious link sa email or inbox nyo? Nakakakaba, di ba? Or in Bisaya, kulbaan jud ta pag makakita ta og ana nga link or relate much, right, mga partners? Because cyber threats are no longer a question of if they will happen. It's a matter of when. And that's exactly why we're here today. And this session is anchored on one powerful truth: prevention is better than cure. So mga partners, are we all ready? Ready na ba ang tanan? So if you're ready, let's begin with a few quick reminders to help us make the most of today's webinar. We'd love to know who's with us today. So feel free, mga partners, to drop your name and company in the chat so we can properly welcome you. And to ensure clear audio for everyone, please keep your microphone on mute. And if you have any questions, just type in them in the chat and we'll address during the Q&A session later. And please keep the discussion in the chat box respectful and positive. Ayan. And for the latest updates about ARK ONE, be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So to give us a deeper understanding of who we are at ARK ONE and the value of our strong partnership with Cisco Meraki, I'm pleased to introduce one of our passionate and inspiring development managers for Luzon. Let's all welcome Ms. Marife Crucero. Hi, Ms. Marife.
Hi, Han. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, ang dami natin today. Thank you very much. So yeah, I am Marife Crucero. I am one of the account managers handling client across Luzon. On behalf of our team, thank you for taking time to join us today. So before we dive into our main topic, which is the Cisco Meraki, let me first give you a quick overview of who ARKONE is and the values that drive what we do and why we are excited to talk about Meraki with you today. So let me share my screen for a while. All right. All right. Can you see now my screen?
Yes, ma'am. You can see your screen.
Thank you. Thank you, Han. So yeah, ARK ONE began its journey in May 2003 as the trusted marketing arm for Agilent Technologies in the Philippines. Since then, we've evolved into multi-entity organization with operation in both the Philippines and Singapore. So under ARK ONE umbrella, we have four entities. First is the ARK ONE PTE Limited. This is our regional marketing office in Singapore. Next is the Radio Router and Maxes Inc. It is our service delivery organization purely for telecom companies. So we have um, like like PLDT, Globe, and Smart. So we have been partners of these telcos for over 20 years now. And the third one is the ARKONE Technologies Inc. This is our key site exclusive service provider. It provides repair and calibration for manufacturing companies. And the third one, and the last one is the ARK ONE Solutions Inc. This is where my colleague and I proudly belong. So the business unit is specializing in end-to-end network infra solutions solutions, cybersecurity, cloud computing, business application, and collaboration tools. So our mission is to deliver end-to-end solutions that enable real-time measurement, seamless monitoring, and proactive management. So we envision becoming your partners of your choice across industries, providing not just products, but complete, trustworthy solutions that grow with your business. So whatever industry you belong to, Arquan understands your unique challenges. So we have these three core pillars of service. First is the business management solutions like ERP, CRM, HRIS. This is to integrate your operation. And the second one is the network and security infrastructure to secure and streamline your connectivity. And the last one is the cloud services that ensures workplace flexibility and resilience, especially for disaster recovery. So for business management, we have different technology partners. So our software solutions, including this ERP, e-commerce, hospitality, and warehouse management, and document management system, these are all designed to automate and simplify your daily workflow. So this is how ARK One enables smarter decision, faster execution, and better business. So for network and security naman, one of our strategic partnership is with Cisco. Um, and more specifically, Cisco Meraki. So we've been a partner of Cisco for several years now, and through their partnership, we've helped businesses simplify their IT operations while significantly enhancing security and visibility across their networks. And the last one is the storage and cloud. So again, we have different technology partner for this. So whether you're setting up a secure hybrid workforce, scaling with cloud storage, or defending against cyber threats, so we've got you covered. So why ARC One? With nationwide reach and a skilled team of over 60 professionals, we serve nearly 100 customers across the Philippines. From Manila to Cebu, our sales team and support teams are ready to respond with agility, professionalism, and expertise. So choose ARC One because we combined technical strength with deep customer commitment. So thank you for considering ARC One. We're excited to partner with you and help your business thrive through smart strategic technology. So back to you, Han.
Thank you so much, Miss Marife. So, wow, welcome again to all our partners. So, I can see some names here in our chat box. So, shout out po sa ating mga partners from Ayala West Grove Heights, from Miesto International Food Corp, from Ramoto Audiovisual Philippines Inc., partners from Olfu, Quezon City, Sir Nick from JFE Shoji Steel Philippines. Hello, everyone. So now it's time to dive deep into how Cisco Meraki can help future-proof your business. So now it's time to dive deep into how Cisco Meraki can help future-proof your business. Our speaker is a graduate of Bulacan State University with a Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering. He has been working in the IT field for over 6 years, 3 of which has spent with Cisco, focusing on their security portfolio. So when he's not spending time with his family, you'll likely find him watching movies, reading a book, or tinkering with his lab. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Mr. Franz for Decrito. Hi, Sir Franz.
Thank you, Ma'am Hannah. I'm not expecting this lots of people right here. Thank you for organizing this event, and I like to thank everybody who attended the session today. I really hope that you'd get something out of the session today. So yeah, that's why I really like to thank everybody for sparing the time. Okay, so let me share my screen. And please do let me know if everybody can see it. Oh, I'm seeing some hands being raised from Glenn. Yes, sir. Okay, I think it's just like I hope everybody can see my screen now, right? Before I share my slide.
Yes, sir. We can see your screen po.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So again, how about my slide? Can you see my slide now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Hannah, for confirming. So, okay. Our main session for today is going to revolve around how Cisco Meraki can help you stay ahead. So again, I'm Francois Decrito, one of the channel SE at Cisco, but I'm from the security side of the house. That's why most of the things that I'm going to talk about today is going to revolve around the embedded security functionality that we have on Meraki, as well as those add-ons, right? Or those security capabilities that we can add on top of Meraki to provide that added layer of security for our customers. Okay. All right. So I usually start with this quote from Stefan Apo. Right. So Stefan Apo has been awarded as the global CISO of the year 2018, and according to him, it takes 20 years of it takes 20 years to build a reputation and a few minutes of cyber incident to ruin it. And I hope everybody agrees to what Stefan says. Right? So a lot of organizations heavily invest in keeping their data safe, but all it takes is that one cybersecurity incident to ruin it all. Right? So just to share, my first job was an SE or systems engineer at one of the security provider here in the Philippines as well. And I had a couple of instances where a customer called in asking for help. They've been impacted by ransomware, and the only thing that I can ask after that is that, do you have any backups? If you don't have any backups, then it's pretty much game over for them, right? All I can provide support is to help rebuild their security servers, and that's it, right? We don't really suggest them paying the ransomware because highly likely they will be a target for another attack, right? So it's not pretty, right? A lot of administrators are worried they will lose the job because someone from the higher ups want to pinpoint that mistake. So again, it's not a pretty side, right? That's the time that it clicked on me how this cybersecurity or these types of attack really impacts the lives of people, right? And we can't really blame the defenders, right? Because the hardest thing about being a defender is that you have to be correct 100% of the time, right? While for an attacker, they only have to be correct once. They only need to find that single vulnerability to exploit. They only have to craft that perfectly good email to send to an unsuspecting victim, and then that's it. They already have that keys to the kingdom. That way, they can move laterally within the organization's network, looking for that data that's worthy of encrypting. Once they find it, again, it's pretty much game over for that organization. Now, this slide is not meant to scare our customers, right? What we meant by this slide is that we want our customers to worry about cybersecurity, especially today, right? We want our customers to not take cybersecurity as best effort, right? So I hope everybody who's listening, please worry about cybersecurity, right? And don't take it as best effort. Now, I'm really glad to say that even our CEO here at Cisco acknowledges this fact, right? So this is coming straight from our CEO, Chuck Robbins. So according to him, security is our top priority here at Cisco, even a few quarters back. So what that means is we're heavily investing on our security portfolio, right? We're enhancing the security capabilities that we currently have on our solutions. And at the same time, we're acquiring more solutions, right, to add to our security arsenals. That way, Cisco can be a one-stop shop for our customers in enterprise networking, even security collaboration. So we cover it all, right? Now, just for the fun of it, I just wanted to ask, if anybody can guess how many security solutions does Cisco sell? Can anybody guess? Right? Just a random number would do. Is anybody typing? I don't think I'm seeing any chats. Okay, I'm seeing 1, 5, 10, 10. All right. 3. Oh, that's the most closed one. 3. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. We're actually selling, as of the moment, 39 security solutions. Right? It might be a shock, but yeah. And we're actually acquiring more security solutions, right? Again, to cover every possible entry point for our customers, right? Again, our vision is to be a one-stop shop for our customers. So that's why we kept on enhancing our security solutions and we're acquiring more. So I think it's quite a shock, right? But yeah, as you can see here, we cover everything. We have our own threat intelligence. We can cover XDR, zero trust, SASE, even the workload security, right? So enough about this shameless plug. Let's move into our agenda for today. So I tried compressing my agenda into these 4 main topics, right? So I'm pretty sure not everybody here is familiar with what Meraki is. So what I did is I included a Meraki intro on my agenda, just so we can have everybody on the same page, right? So here I'll discuss what is included on the Meraki portfolio. After that, we're going to cover the main topic for today, which is going to be our Meraki MX. So what's the embedded or what's the security capabilities that's embedded on our Meraki MX? After which, we're going to talk about what Talos is, right? So again, I won't expect that everybody here is familiar with what Talos is, but in a very high level, Talos is our threat intelligence, right? So the main question is, what's in it for our customer, right? What's in it for our customers to have a reliable threat intelligence source? So those are the things that we're going to talk about on that third section. After that, we're going to talk about the cloud security that we have. So what if the embedded security on a Meraki MX is not enough? What if you're looking for a different security capabilities? How can we use the different cloud security capabilities that we have in Cisco and embed that on our Meraki MX platform very seamlessly? So that's what we're going to talk about on the fourth section. All right, let's proceed. So again, for those of you who are less familiar with Meraki, right? Our Meraki really became popular in the wireless space, right? So this is where our Meraki MRs comes into play. So those are literally our access point in the Meraki world. So the reason why it became really, really popular for our customers because it focuses on ease of use, right? By that means we're effectively removing the need for a wireless LAN controller. Simply purchase the wireless access point, plug that into the internet, and then you can manage it from the cloud, right? Wherever you are, you can manage it from wherever you are working, right? After that, we expanded in switching. So that's where our Meraki MS falls into. And then we have the SD-WAN and security, and that's where the Meraki MX falls into, right? So those 3 solutions, the Meraki MR, MX, and MS, is what we're calling as the Meraki full stack, right? And all of those can be managed through this simplified GUI that we call as Meraki dashboard. So this is the example of our Meraki dashboard, right? So everything you can manage from there. Then we expanded to some other product lines like our smart cameras, sensors, so bringing that security into the physical world for our customers as well. And then to add on top of that, we also have other security solutions that we can add as additional layer of security. So things like Cisco Secure Connect. So this is our unified SASE offering. So this is something that we're going to cover in depth on the upcoming slide. And then we also have our endpoint security, Cisco Secure Endpoint. We have our Cisco Duo, our identity security solution. And we have our Cisco Secure Client, which is the remote access VPN client that we use so that end users would be able to access the private application behind the Meraki MX. Okay. All right, so the Meraki MX is the security and SD-WAN appliance product from the Meraki. And again, this is our main topic for today's session. So the main question then is, what is Meraki MX, right? Well, it is a router, it is a stateful firewall, it can provide that zero-touch deployment functionality, but I think it's also where probably the most popular feature of Meraki exists. So that's something that we call as, where is it? Auto VPN, right? So Auto VPN enables administrators to create that site-to-site VPN from one location to another within just 3 clicks, right? So if you're a tech folk out there, if you're going to take a look behind in the past, the way that we configure site-to-site VPN, you have to understand the phase 1, phase 2 of IKE, right? You have to understand how CryptoMap works, or VTI. How you should have an understanding of those. While here, we're simplifying things, right? So within just a few clicks, you can now establish that VPN tunnel. So that's why it became very, very popular for our customers. Now, aside from that, we can add on different capabilities like our 1,000 eyes. So this is our DEM, Digital Experience Monitoring. Now, this is more being covered by the enterprise networking team. So if you're familiar with it, or if you want to learn more about 1,000 eyes, please don't hesitate to reach out to ARK ONE or probably to us. We can sit down and maybe talk about how 1,000 eyes work for you guys. Then we have our DNS layer of security, something that we're going to cover in depth on the upcoming slide as well. We also have our own extended detection and response, something that we're going to cover on the upcoming slide. We also have our SSE, right, that can be easily integrated with Meraki, something that we're going to cover separately. And then sandboxing, right, something that I'm going to cover on the next slide. So again, since our main topic is more on security, right, let's try and zoom in on the security capabilities that we have on our Meraki MX. So just call out here, right? So we have this legend at the bottom. So those who are being encapsulated in the green rectangle, right? That means it's included with the MX license. While for those being encapsulated by this blue rectangle, that means another license is required for it, right? Do take note though, Talos is not something that you will need an additional license for. Any security solutions that you're going to purchase from Cisco would include Talos as a threat intelligence source, right? So I hope that clears things up. Okay, so let's try and talk about each of these security capabilities that we have in Meraki. First, application visibility and control. I think it would be better if I just provide you an example of how this works, right? So application visibility and control. When you're trying to prevent a certain application from going out in the internet, let's say for example you're trying to prevent uTorrent from or some users to leverage or to use uTorrent in your organization. Without application visibility and control, the way that you're going to do that is you have to identify the IP address and the port number that it utilizes, right? And then you have to create an access control list where you will include that IP and port, and then the action should be blocked. Now, the problem with uTorrent, though, is that the IP and port that's being used there constantly changes, right? So what that means is after some time, right, the entry that you've added on your access control list would be useless, right? So again, you have to identify the IP and port that the uTorrent is using again, and then you'll do that again and again and again, right? Which is quite tiring. That's where things like application visibility and control comes in. So what it does is it identifies the signature of the traffic, right? And it will be able to identify what application is behind the traffic using those signature, right? So that way you can just create an access control list that says, hey, I want to block uTorrent from being used within my organization. And once Meraki MX finds that signature on a specific traffic, then you can outright block it, right? So that's how application visibility works. Now, stateful firewalling, right, is pretty much self-explanatory. It can provide you layer 3, layer 4. That means IP and port level of access control list. At the same time, layer 7. So this is where the application visibility and control comes in as well. Identity-based firewalling, right? So what that means is we can integrate with things like Active Directory. That way, you can create a policy, a very granular policy that can say maybe, hey, I don't want friends to access Facebook, while I want a different set of people to access Facebook, right? So a very granular way of creating an access control list or an access control policy. Now, Snort. Snort is an open source intrusion prevention system that we're currently using here at Cisco. And it's designed to detect and prevent cyber attacks by monitoring network traffic for malicious activity, right? Now, you might notice here with trusted traffic exclusion. So what that literally means is that you have the capability of excluding some traffic from going through this Snort engine or this advanced layer of scanning engine. Now, why would you want to do it? Well, there are traffic that you might trust, right? 100% trust. So those are the traffics that we suggest excluding on this advanced layer of scanning engines. That way you can offload some tasks from the Meraki MX, right? So content filtering is literally just URL filtering, right? And we're getting that feed from Talos. So again, we'll talk more about how important Talos is for Cisco. But yeah, the main thing is that instead of you having to create a list or your own list as to what is a social media site, as to what is an adult site, right? We're going to create that groupings for you or categorization for you. That way you can just select, hey, I want to block users from going to a gambling sites, or I want users to go, I want to prevent users to going to social media sites, right? So we're going to create that list for you. You just have to select the categorization that you want to apply to a certain group of users. So advanced malware protection is, I guess, it would be a better way, a better idea to just provide you another example here. So the way that it works is that if a user tries and download a file, right? So what would happen is that MX would create a hash value out of that file. Now we have a huge database in our cloud where the Meraki MX would take a look at, right? So it will create a hash value of that file and it will query our cloud database and check if it is a known good file or a known bad file. If it's a known good file, of course, we're going to have to pass it through. If it's a known bad file, of course, we're going to outright block it. But the good thing or the cool thing about our advanced malware protection is that we have a third verdict called unknown, right? So when it is when it got that verdict as unknown, the Meraki MX, what it does is it's going to create a copy of that file and it's going to submit that to our malware sandboxing, right? So our malware sandboxing is where we will detonate that file and make sure that it's not going to do anything funny on the sandbox environment, right? It's not going to delete any registry key. It's not going to add any other registry key, not going to delete any file, not going to encrypt any file, right? So it will return a score. The higher the score means it is highly likely a malicious file. So that's how it works. So both AMP and malware sandboxing works hand in hand in some way. Now, another thing, DNS layer of security, how important DNS layer of security is. Again, we'll go into cover that in the upcoming slides. AnyConnect Remote VPN, it's separate license, but this is something that we provide our customers with. That way they can connect to those private resources that's behind the Meraki MX. And then our unified SASE offering, right? Our Cisco Secure Connect, something that we're going to cover on the upcoming slide as well. Now, as you may have noticed, everything is being underscored by this Talos. So our next topic is going to revolve around Talos. So what is the importance of Talos? So I mentioned earlier, Talos is one of the largest, the largest non-governmental threat intelligence team in the world. And I want to clear something up here. Talos is not something that we're outsourcing from anybody. It's not something that we acquired, right? It's straight out born within Cisco, right? They're living and breathing security 24/7. Now, before I discuss more about what Talos is, I think it's important to understand what threat intelligence is first, right? And the way that I explain threat intelligence is to our customers that it is the heart of every security solutions out there, right? Because it's going to provide the information or the latest information to any security tools that you currently have, right? So what is the new IP addresses that has been associated to a malicious attack? What domains, right? What new domains has been created and has been associated to malicious attack? What new executable files is associated to an attack, right? So those are the things that a threat intelligence team can provide. Now, what is Talos then? So Talos is actually being divided into these 6 main groups. So we have a threat intelligence and interdiction team, global outreach, community. We have engineering and development, detection and research. And one thing that I usually want to highlight to our customers is our own vulnerability and research and discovery team, right? So yes, we're doing our own vulnerability research and discovery, and we're actually a CVE numbering authority or body, right? So we participate in numbering vulnerability. So if you're familiar with CVE, common vulnerability and exploit, we're providing or we're giving out that CVEs as well. So how important was that? So first, I want to show you this slide. We actually did the number. So over the past 6 years, Talos has identified like new zero-day vulnerability every 33 hours. So that's quite huge, right? So if you're going to take a look here on the current reports totals for 2024, so I haven't updated this slide yet, but according here, 173 has been publicly disclosed vulnerabilities, which is quite huge. And 93 has been open reported 0 days. So when you say open reported 0 days, that means our Talos team was able to identify a certain vulnerability to a vendor, right, or on a product. We have already reported that to that vendor, but that vendor hasn't released that publicly yet. Why? Maybe they haven't released the patch for that vulnerability yet. But the main idea there is that during all those times, right, there is a vulnerability. Indeed, there is, but it's just lying around there waiting for someone to exploit, right? So as you can see here, we're not just looking at mom and pop shops, right? We're actually finding stuffs in large corporations like Apple, Adobe, right? And one thing that I usually want to highlight is this CVE that we're able to, or our Talos team were able to detect, right? This NVIDIA D3, D10 driver shader functionality out of bounds read vulnerability. So the main idea of this vulnerability is that it is a jump VM or escape VM vulnerability. What that means is that if you spin up a virtual machine on top of an ESXi server, for example, if that ESXi server has this vulnerability, right? Once that virtual machine has been compromised, the threat actor has the capability to jump into the actual host, into the ESXi host itself. Right, so it's quite huge, right? Now, another thing that I wanted you to look into is the dates. So our Talos team was able to detect this threat or this vulnerability in 2023, but it has been released in 2024, right? So all those times, right, it has been lying around there waiting for somebody to exploit it, right? And the importance of this is that since we already are aware of these vulnerabilities, right? We now have the capability of creating our own signatures. We now have the capability of creating our own protection against these vulnerabilities, right? Since we already are aware of those vulnerabilities, we can then deploy those protections to all of our security tools, right? So what essentially that means for our customers is that you're ahead of the attackers. So that's what it is, or that's what the importance is of having a very reliable threat intelligence source, right? Okay, so the reason our security efficacy is very high as well is that we process a lot of information. So this is where this notion of the more you see, the more you block comes in, right? So we're actually processing 550 billion security events daily, and we have 500 threat researchers looking into those. Now, of course, it's not humanly possible for this 500 threat researchers to manually look into this 550 billion security events, right? That's why our threat researchers are creating this AI and machine learning algorithms to help them out to find those needle in the haystack, as we call it, right? So once they find that needle in a haystack, that's where this 500 threat researchers would come in, perform reverse engineering, perform an in-depth research, right? And once they find out all about the IP addresses, domains, or the file or hash value of those files associated to that attack, then they're going to create a protection that they can then push into all of our security tools. Okay? All right. So far, we were able to talk about the security components embedded inside the Meraki MX security appliance. So again, things like our IDS, IPS, content filtering, and our advanced malware protection. Now, what if it's not enough, right? Or what if you wanted to provide this sort of uniform security for users that's not in your office, right? Or maybe you want to publish an internal application securely in the internet, right? So the good news is that we actually have an offering for it. So first, let's start with some of the industry terminology like SASE or Secure Access Service Edge. So the way that we're explaining this to our customers is that it is the combination of secure SD-WAN and SSE or Security Service Edge, right? So all through this single unified interface. So just a quick check. Anybody here who is familiar or have heard about what SASE is or Secure Access Service Edge? Anybody? No? All right, so I'll take that as a no. All right. I saw someone saying, Sir Arkil, not familiar, only LSSL. Oh, okay, that's a great thing that I've added another slide here. Hold on. As a primer for Secure Access Service Edge. So again, since not most or not everybody is familiar with what Secure Access Service Edge is, I think it's important to try and step back, right, and understand why SASE became or came about for the first place. So here on this slide, let's start on the image on the left side. This is what most of the enterprise infrastructure looks like in the past, like 10 to 15 years ago, right? Where most of the organization, right, is required, right, for their remote office, branch office location to establish this costly MPLS line going to their headquarters. And it's the remote users, if they have any, they are obligated to establish that remote access VPN connection going to the HU office. Now, why was that the case? Right? Because before, 10 to 15 years ago, most of the applications that we're using to finish our job, right, they're being hosted here on the HU itself, right? So that's why we don't really have a choice. We have to connect to the HU. But if we're going to fast forward in today's cloud-centric world, right, where almost not every, but almost of the applications that we're using, like Microsoft 365, MS Teams, WebEx Teams, right, are now being hosted in the cloud. If we're going to use the same approach where we have to backhaul every traffic coming from our branch, even from our end users working remotely, going to our HQ, just so they can access something from the internet, then highly likely you would have a bottleneck here in the HQ, right? So what would happen there is that a domino effect, right? End users would have problem accessing their applications, right? And then, of course, the IT team will receive tons of tickets saying that, hey, we can't access these apps. The app is very, very slow. And those are the things that administrator doesn't really want to happen, right? So that's where the Cisco Secure Access really comes into play, or Secure Access Service Edge really comes into play, right? Because of those things, more and more companies are benefiting from this thing called the direct internet access approach because, again, first of all, it's very cheap, right? And as a result, you will see here on this image that our model has become more decentralized. So with today's cloud-centric world, there needs to be a new architectural approach, right? So basically an approach that address the need for a direct internet access from all the office location or from wherever the user is working, right? So again, this is where secure access service edge comes in. So what it enables us to do is to push those security controls at the edge of the internet. So it doesn't matter where the user is working, whether you're working at a cafeteria, whether you're working at the headquarters, you will have that same controls wherever you are, right? Okay, so how are we providing that to our customers? So again, our Meraki already have the SD-WAN components, right? We've already established that. So the only piece that we're missing here is the security service edge piece or the SSE piece. So that's where Secure Connect really comes into play, right? So that what Secure Connect adds on top of the SD-WAN capability that we have on the Meraki. So it will provide security capabilities like cloud access security broker, zero trust network access, firewall as a service, and secure web gateway. Okay. So a very high level overview of our architecture in Secure Connect, right? So we have the who, the where, and the how. So the who are the users working from wherever they are, and then the destination or wherever they're, whatever application they're trying to reach. And the how is the Secure Connect. So what are we doing, right? The main idea is that Secure Connect bridges the end user going to the application that they wanted to reach. Wherever that user is, we can bridge them to those applications that they wanted to access or reach, okay, in a very secure manner. So as you can see here, it's going to pass through all of the scanning engines that we have on Secure Connect. All right, so just a quick demo of our Cisco Secure Connect. So here, right, so for those who are familiar with our Meraki dashboard, so as you can see here, once you get or acquire that Secure Connect license, all you'd get, or you still have access to your own dashboard. The only thing though that's going to be different is that we're going to add the Secure Connect tab on your Meraki dashboard or Meraki, your Meraki dashboard. All right, say that again. And then everything from here you can manage, right? So you can manage the wireless, the switching, your Meraki MX is there as well. So here on the Secure Connect, everything can be managed through the single unified dashboard as well. So clicking on the overview page, it will provide you that high level overview of what's happening within your organization, right? How many tunnels are up or down, how many public applications are being accessed. Do you have any private applications that you're publishing for your end users, right? We also have here the end users tab. That way you can create a very granular policy that would say, hey, maybe Bill can't access this private application while Ursula can access this application. So that granular, right? Again, we can provide that ZTNA or Zero Trust Network access capability through this Secure Connect solution that we have, that we can integrate with Meraki. So what if I wanted to protect a site? So let's say I've recently purchased a Meraki MX. I brought that into one of my remote sites, and I want that remote sites to be protected by this Secure Connect, right? Or the scanning engines that we have in Secure Connect. How easy would it be for our Meraki customers? Well, in just a matter of few clicks, you can integrate it with the Secure Connect Cloud, right? So click on Add. So here, once you claim that Meraki MX, highly likely you will find that Meraki MX here. So all you have to do is select that Meraki MX device that you just recently claimed. So once you select that, you can select the region where you want it to establish or to send the traffic into, right? So here, our option would be the Asia one. So that's the data center that's very close to us. So that's what we're going to select. And then after that, just click next and next. That's it, right? Within just a few clicks, you now have the capability of sending out all of your traffic to our Secure Connect cloud for you to leverage the scanning engines that's inside that Secure Connect cloud that we have, right? Oops. All right. Just see the water. Oops. Okay. So let's say you don't want to adopt all of the features that's included in Secure Connect, right? So what we can do, what we can offer you is like instead of sending all of your data to our Secure Connect cloud, right? We can help you in just sending the DNS traffic, right? And this is possible by leveraging the integration that we have with our umbrella solution. So something that we're going to cover on this section. Okay, so why do you think it's important to secure DNS? Right? Anybody? Anybody from the audience? No? All right. So to answer that question, because 90% of all malware uses DNS, right? It's here on the slide. And thus, it provides that vector in which that DNS layer of security can help us to prevent that type of malware attack, right? And unfortunately, 68% of organizations don't monitor their DNS. So as simple as monitoring your DNS or adding that DNS layer of security can actually help you prevent or lower down the probability of having or being attacked by these types of DNS layer of attack, right? Okay, so how important is this DNS layer of security? Quick refresher, right? So how does DNS security work, or how does DNS work? Now, I've been I had a couple of instances where a customer asked me, "Well, Franz, this is your umbrella or your DNS layer of security really relevant on my organization?" Well, my answer there is that, well, Mr. Customer, do your organization use internet? If so, then yeah, it would be relevant to have a DNS layer of security for your organization, right? Why? Because the first step when you're trying to reach a site, for example, right? So let's say I wanted to reach facebook.com. So what would happen is that if I type that facebook.com in my web browser, right? The first thing that my workstation would do is it's going to try and reach out to the DNS server that's configured on it. Maybe you're configured to use 8.8.8, 1.1.1, right? So it will reach out to 8.8.8, Google, asking Google, hey, Google, do you know the IP address of facebook.com, right? Now, the difference of using those public DNS versus our umbrella DNS, right, or DNS layer of security, is that our umbrella DNS layer of security has the intelligence, right? Has the intelligence of identifying whether the site that you're trying to access is malicious or not, right? So that way, if a user tries and access a suspicious.com site, for example, right? Of course, it will try to reach out to our umbrella DNS server. And then since our umbrella DNS server understand, right, it has the intelligence to identify it, it will then look into the request. Hey, suspicious.com has been a part of a previous attack, right? So instead of umbrella giving the correct IP address of that site, what our solution would do is we're going to provide you an IP address of our block site, right? That way the connection won't even happen, right? So one good use case as well, I actually prepared this one. What if you received an email like this? Please click here for your cash reward. So for those tech savvy out here listening, you'd first look at the link, right? You hover your mouse, look at the link, internetbadguys.com. So this is pretty suspicious, right? So, but unfortunately, not everybody is tech savvy, right? So of course, if I'm not a tech savvy person, cash reward. Let me click that. Let me claim that, right? So if you're covered by this umbrella, by this DNS layer of security that we have, okay. Sorry, it's taking a lot of time to load. So yeah, that's what you're going to get, right? So we're just going to redirect you to our blog page. That way, the connection won't even happen. So that's how powerful having a DNS layer of security is. Again, we can provide that DNS layer of security using our Cisco umbrella. So again, if you want to learn more about this integration between Umbrella and Meraki MX, if you think that would benefit your organization, please don't hesitate to reach out to ARK ONE, right? Maybe we can sit down, talk about your requirements, and then maybe we can recommend the right solution if it really is umbrella that you're looking for. Okay. So now the question is, how easy would it be for our customers to integrate Meraki with our umbrella DNS layer of security? So as you can see, we have a couple of different ways to integrate it, one for Meraki MX and one for Meraki MRs. Now, one great use case for the Meraki MR is that if you have a guest user for a guest area, for example, right, and you don't want your guest users from accessing a gambling sites or adult sites or porn sites, right? You have the capability of once the integration is there or is configured, right? You have the capability of setting that up here on the Meraki MRs, right? Or you can leverage the DNS layer of security of Umbrella to provide that blocking capability, right? So how easy would it be? In just a matter of 4 steps, we can actually integrate it. So step 1, you just have to create that API key from the Umbrella dashboard. Step 2, you just have to key that into the Meraki dashboard. And then that's pretty much it, right? We can now pull that information. Actually, it's just 3 steps, right? So the 4th step is just nonsense. So yeah, within just that 3 steps, right? We can now leverage the policies that we have on our umbrella, which is our DNS layer of security, to leverage that on your network, right? Okay, so moving along, security visibility. So how can we provide security visibility with our Meraki dashboard? So I'm not sure if everyone here is familiar with what SNOC is. Right? So it's a pretty new term, but what it essentially means is Security and Network Operations Center. So it's a convergence of Network Operation and Security Operations Center. So those are the organization that has a small team that that small team performs both the Network Operations Center task, meaning they're configuring the switch, they're configuring the router, they're configuring the access points, right, servers, and then they also are configuring the SOC tasks, configuring the firewall, the endpoint security. So essentially, that's what SNOC really means, right? So what are we doing here? So our main vision is to, again, be that one-stop shop for our customers, right? Using Meraki, especially for those SNOC team. That way, they can leverage that single UI, which is the Meraki dashboard, for both the NOC task and the Security Operations Center task, right? So for those who are already using Meraki dashboard, I'm pretty sure you're already aware that Meraki dashboard is actually a pretty great place for the Network Operations Center team already, right? There are a lot of things that they can do there. They can view the traffic analytics. They can perform packet capture from the dashboard itself. They can even view the map and floor plans, right? Even the configuration is there as well on the same dashboard, right? Now, the main question is, how do we bring the people who are more focused on the security to this dashboard too, right? So how can we make this Meraki dashboard a one-stop shop for both the NOC and the Security Operations Center? So that's where our Security Operations Center or Security Center dashboard comes in. So the Security Center dashboard is the SNOC or the SOC dashboard on the Meraki platform, right? So it's already available there and leverage it for those who are already using the Meraki platform, right? So what we're doing here on this security center is that we're bringing all the IPS and advanced malware protection events into this single dashboard. So we also have other integrations with other platforms like Datadog, Splunk, and SolarWinds. So they all have integrations that can consume, right, this security data via API into their platform, right? So that's great. Now, although those integration exists, right? So what we wanted to do is to take things a little step further, right? So what our BU asked, our business unit asked, is how can we bring security center to that next level, right? How can we bring that SOC into this dashboard even more? So this is where our XDR, or extended detection and response capability, or integration comes in, right? So just a quick show of hands. Anybody here who is familiar with what XDR is, extended detection and response? Anybody? Anybody familiar with extended detection and response? Okay, so I'll treat that as a no. Sir Rogelio raised his hand, so I'm sure open source for learning tool purposes. Yes, it's open source. You can leverage it. I am pretty sure we have a sandbox as well for those who wanted to learn the APIs of Meraki. I may have to pull those links in, but yeah, you can learn the API of Meraki. It's out there for you to leverage. So I hope that answered the question, Sir Ken. Wait, so is a security framework that enhances threat detection. Is a security framework? Sorry, Daryl, I didn't get your question. Is a security framework that enhances threat detection? Multiple. Okay, so maybe I'll try to answer this in the Q&A section, right? So okay, so I'm going to think that not everybody is familiar with XDR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you the quick definition of what XDR is in terms of Cisco, right? So it's just really these three simple points. So the first one, and the very fundamental definition of XDR for us, is the collection of data from multiple security tools, right? So that means being able to collect telemetry from multiple security tools, be it Cisco or third-party tools. So yes, we're not just limiting ourselves into collecting data from our Cisco security tool sets, but we're also open, and we currently have native integration with other security vendors as well, like CrowdStrike, right, where we can integrate with them to pull those information in to our XDR platform. We can also pull in raw telemetry info like net flow from routers and from switches. So this is a very important thing, right? The having the capability of pulling this information, because without data, then your XDR, or your extended detection and response, won't really do anything, right? So it's very important to have those data coming in to your XDR solution. So second, the application of analytics to arrive at detection of maliciousness. So we're running a couple of analytics at the back end. That way we can look and we can stitch all of those data that we're able to gather, right? And run that analytics to arrive at the detection of maliciousness. And of course, detection is just one thing, right? So we also have to have the capability of responding into it. So the third, of course, being able to respond is going to be a key thing for our XDR solution. So we have the capability in responding to that malicious activity that we're going to detect as well. So that's how we explain what XDR is here at Cisco. All right. So I mentioned earlier that our XDR uses the power of AI and machine learning to analyze the network traffic, and that really helps empower the security operations center team to again, identify those malicious behaviors. So if you're familiar with how security operations center works, right, they're heavily being bombarded with tons of different alerts, right? So the main idea of XDR is to use that AI and machine learning, right? Those analytics to provide you with what do you really need to work on first as a security operation analyst, right? So I'm going to show you a quick example of that during the demo, right? So yeah, so again, as with all of our integrations, right? We try to make this as easy as possible, right? Within just a few clicks, we can connect our Meraki dashboard to an XDR tenant of the customer. So yes, this will be a different license, yeah. And then once the accounts are connected, we'll be able to send telemetry from our Meraki MX device going to the XDR platform. That way, the XDR platform can leverage those information that your Meraki MX device would send to help stitch the events up, right? So this is an example of that integration. So let me just play it here. So the integration is very simple. You'll find here an integration, XDR integration, where you just have to sign up using your credential for that XDR tenant. Now, once that's done, when you say configure network, that means you're going to select those Meraki MX device that you want to participate in sending those NetFlow telemetry to the XDR tool that we have. And once it's done, right? So here, what they did is enabled everything. So once that's done, after a few moments, when we go back to the security center, you will see another tab here specifically for the XDR incidents, right? So here, we'll be able to show those security operation or those security focused folks about which events they need to worry about first, or which events they need to look into first, right? So the higher the priority, of course, the higher the chance that, hey, you need to work on this one first, right? So aside from that, oops, where was I? So aside from that, you have the capability on looking at the details. Now, if you want to drill down a little bit further in that specific event, you can just click on the view incident in XDR, and it will redirect you to the XDR dashboard itself, where you can perform more granular investigation of that event. And aside from that, straight from the dashboard, right, you can assign this to anybody, right, to your colleague. And if you think that the event has been resolved, then you can straight from this dashboard close that event as well. Right. So again, what we're doing here is we wanted to make the Meraki dashboard a one-stop shop for both the Network Operations Center team and the Security Operations Center team, or the SNOC team of an organization. Right. That way, they don't really have to pivot from one dashboard to another. Right. They only have to go in to the Meraki dashboard and perform everything from the single simplified GUI that we have in Meraki. Right. Okay, so to wrap up, yeah, I hope that I was able to relay how important cybersecurity is, right, especially today. And I hope that you'd find how our Meraki solution can help your business, right? Not just to connect stuffs, but to secure stuffs as well. And I really hope that the session today has been informative for you guys. So again, if you have any security requirements, please don't hesitate to reach out to ARK ONE. Sit down with them, tell them all your pain points so that they can recommend you the right solution. Right. So with that, I want to thank everybody for attending today's session. And I'm gonna pass the ball back to Miss Hannah.
Wow, thank you so much, Sir Franz, for sharing your expertise with us. Very informative, and I know everyone here gained a lot. And before we jump into the Q&A, I know everyone's excited to get their questions answered, no? Since we can see some questions na in the chat box. But Today is our first Cybersecurity Talks session. We've prepared a fun icebreaker for you partners. So, sino po dito ang gustong manalo ng GCash prizes? Show me some heart reacts, partners. Ayan. Ayun, ang daming heart reacts. So, there we go. So, to get us started, let me turn it over to my colleague here from the marketing team, Marjorie. Take it away, Marge.
Thank you, Miss Hannah. And good day, partners. We've just heard from our amazing speaker, Sir Frank. So thank you for that insightful topic about how Cisco Meraki helps you stay ahead when it comes to cyber attack prevention. So now, partners, after hearing all those information and before we proceed to our next portion, how about we loosen up a little by having a game? So, can I have a heart or any reactions, partners? Sino bang excited dito para manalo sa ating game? Ayan, we're receiving a lots of reactions. Yan, sabi ni Sir Fernando, me. Yes. So, without further ado, let's begin CyberQuest, where we test your tech instincts and decode the cyber clues. Yan. So the mechanics is very simple, partners. We prepared 6 items for you to answer. On each number, we will present an emoji that corresponds to a cybersecurity related term. So alongside with this, I will read a hint to better understand the emoji. So participants are asked to type in their answers on the chat box as fast as they can, because the first to give the correct answer will be the winner. So take note that we will only consider the first correct answer to appear on our end, and we'll be announcing the winners after the webinar. So, and to spice things up, we will be giving 500 pesos GCash prizes for each winners po yan, sponsored by none other than Arden. So, thank you very much for that, Arden. So, kaya pang-load po ba or pang-add to cart yung hanap nyo? Don't you worry, partners, because solve na solve yan sa GCash prices natin today. So, let's have a trial round first para ma-practice muna natin kung paano ba tayo mag-answers later, partners. So, for our trial round, we'll see if you can guess this right, partners. I hold the essential tools to fix, build, and protect. Ano kaya yung item na yan? I am what? Meron na ditong nagsagot agad. Is it toolbox? May nagsagot din ng Meraki. Firewall, we'll see. Ano kaya? Toolbox ang tamang sagot. Pero that's only a trial round pa lang, partner. So wala pa pong price yan. So I think ready na ang ating partner. So without further ado, let's begin CyberQuest. So for our first item, it says, I'm your digital brick wall. I block the heat when hackers bring the fire. Ang dami na agad na nagsasagot. What could Iisa lang nakikita ko, firewall. Firewall nga ba? We'll see. I am, tama, firewall. Sino kaya yung unang nating respondent? So for our second item, we have a clue. I'm where your files float, safe above the mess and always ready when you need me. Any idea? Tingnan nga natin. Sumasabog ng ating chat box. Game na game talaga yung partners natin. May nagsagot ng cloud box, cloud storage. Well, see, ano kaya ang tamang sagot? I am. Cloud storage. Cloud storage ang tamang sagot, partner. So for our third item, I am the bodyguard for your device, swatting viruses before they can even say hello. Ay, ang dami talaga. Is it, may nakita ko din endpoint, meron ding antivirus, may antivirus na may space, may antivirus din na walang space. So, ano kaya mas tamang sagot doon? We'll see. I am antivirus na walang space. So, for our fourth item, we have a clue. I'm the size of your internet pipeline. The bigger I am, the smoother you stream. What am I? Ano kaya ito? Parang drum yung unang ano eh. Parang same lang din yung nagsasagot sa atin, pero it matters of kung sino bang nauna, kung sino sa amin yung nakita naming unang sumagot. So, bandwidth, is it bandwidth? We'll see. I am bandwidth. Yan. Game na game ang ating partners. Ang bibilis mag-type. Yes po, ang bibilis nating mag-type. Hindi pa ako tapos sa clue natin, pero may sagot na agad. So for our fifth item, I'm the fake email wearing a friendly smile, hoping you'll take the bait. Guess what? Ano kaya yon? Phishing? Is it phishing? Malware? Ano pa kaya? Spam? Pwede din naman siguro. We'll see. I am fishing. Syempre may rod. Parang sa rod pa lang malalaman natin. Fishing talaga siya, no? So, for our sixth and last item, nako, bilisan nyo partners, I protect your online world from hackers and keep your secrets safe from prying eyes. What is it? What am I? Ang sabi, raffle na lang. Di ako mananalo. Yeah, sobrang bilis. Active na active. 500 Gcash prize. Yes, ano kaya ito? What am I? We'll see. I am cybersecurity. Yan, cybersecurity. So, congratulations to our partners na active sa pag-participate sa ating game for today. We will just announce the winners after the webinar. So, stay tuned on your emails at baka kayo na ang nanalo sa ating GCash prizes partner. So, thank you for your active participation and wag muna po kayong malulumbay because there's more. So, stay tuned until the end. And back to you, Miss Hannah.
Thank you! Salamat, Marge, for that super fun game. And of course, thank you to all our partners na mababilis mag-type who participated. So thank you so much. So now, please answer this quick survey flash on your screen. Scan it using your camera phones and you will be redirected to a form. By answering, you'll get an entry and your name will be included in the raffle later. Worry not, partners, because we will also send the link in the chat box. And now it's time to open the floor for your questions. Ayan, marami tayong na-receive na questions earlier from our participants. And let me first acknowledge our panelists for today. We are joined here by our ARK ONE CEO, Engineer Erwin Padrique, Mr. Franz Pordecrito, Cisco's Security Solutions Engineer, and our speaker for today. Also with us are our dedicated account managers representing Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, Sir Roel Abustan, Ms. Marife Crucero, Mr. Victor Brigino, Mr. Alain Arabe, Mr. Glenn Mujeres, Mr. Michael Shokan, along with our pre-sales engineer, Ms. Winalyn De La Cruz. All right. So if there's anything you'd like to ask our speaker or if you need clarification on any part of the presentation earlier, feel free to type your question in the chat. So we have here a question from Sir Daryl Bernardo. I think this will be addressed by our speaker, Sir Franz. What are the key benefits of SASE for remote workforces?
Well, first, tinig ba ako, ma'am? Hannah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first is yung policy. First of all, yung policy is going to be paano ba tawag dito? Consolidated policy. So wherever that user is, parang yun nga, dahil pinupush natin yung security policies at the edge of the internet with the SASE architecture, you can just create that one policy and that would cover everybody, right, wherever you are working. Now, depending on on what type of remote workforce na use case yung pinag-uusapan natin, Sir Daryl, ano? Kasi meron kang securing internet access na policy na pwedeng i-create and then securing private access na i-create. When we're talking about securing internet access policy, yun nga, we can create that singular policy that will cover everybody wherever they are working. While for those securing private access use cases, we can provide them this ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access, the capabilities. So that means we have the capability of limiting them doon sa resources na meron lang silang dapat access, right? While ZTNA is great, right? But the cool thing about what we have here at Meraki is that everybody can fall back into VPN as a service, because not every applications that the organization have can be onboarded with a ZTNA, right? So ang cool thing about having or being in the Meraki cloud is that they can fall back into VPN as a service, which is literally the same thing as performing VPN. But instead of directly connecting to your Meraki MX, you can connect to our cloud, our Secure Connect cloud, and from there we can redirect you to the right resources depending on how you configure it on the Meraki dashboard. So yun yung things na we can provide with our SASE, right? But yeah, I hope that answered the question, Sir Daryl. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sir Franz, and thank you, Sir Daryl. So, another question, Sir Franz, in line with SASE, no? So, what if their current setup includes a mix of devices, Sir Franz, like Fortinet? Would they still be able to leverage Cisco's SASE cloud effectively?
Yeah, definitely they can. So ang magiging downside lang though is they won't be able to use the auto VPN. So nakita nyo kanina yung during our demo is that within just a few clicks you can integrate your Meraki MX with our Secure Connect cloud, right? Just a few clicks. Now, if you're going to use a different vendor firewall like Fortinet, yes, you can still connect that to our Secure Connect cloud, but that will be a manual way, right? So there's no such thing as a 3-click way. So yun lang yung magiging key differences. But yes, you can integrate other vendors so long as it support IPsec IKE EV2. So I'm highlighting that, as long as it supports IPsec IKE EV2.
All right.
And
Thank you, Sir Franz, for that clarification. So we have question here from Sir Ken. How does Meraki handle client VPN configuration?
yeah, so we actually have on the dashboard itself, same dashboard, the Meraki dashboard. You have the capability of configuring yung sa Cisco Secure Connect tab. That's where yung mag-open up yung mga ganong options to create your own VPN configuration for your users. So doon siya papasok, Sir Ken.
And another question from Sir Voltaire regarding private DNS, given that it is secure. How about latency, as it is vital, especially on cloud business applications? And to add, some ISP has a preference on their DNS settings.
Okay, just want to clarify, when you say private DNS, are we talking about the umbrella DNS or is it a totally different DNS? Sorry, Sir Voltaire. Sir Voltaire? Because in terms of latency, kung pag-uusapan natin ng latency, we actually, I'm talking about umbrella DNS here, right? So umbrella DNS is not a private DNS. It is a recursive DNS that we have at Cisco. So what it essentially means that you need to point your DNS. So if you have your own private DNS, you can just forward that or configure your private DNS to forward those other traffic to our umbrella DNS. So ganun yung magiging setup. Pero in terms dun sa latency, we actually have tests from Mercom. I can maybe share it with you guys that enables that proved that instead of adding latency, we actually lessened the latency for our customer. So I can maybe share those links to you guys.
Right. Thank you for the questions from Sir Voltaire and Sir Ken.
Is there a way for your access point to hide the QR code? I'm not sure what this means, Sir Marvin. QR code.
So while waiting for the follow-up details from Sir Marvin, we have here question also Sir Franz from Sir Randy from San Beda University. Is the Secure Connect in the dashboard is upgrade or additional product to purchase?
It is an additional license to purchase, but yun nga, seamless yung integration. You just have to claim it, and then we'll just enable a few flags at the back end of your Meraki dashboard, and then you'll see the tab dun sa mismong Meraki dashboard ni Sir Randy. So yes, it will require an additional license to answer the question. To add license per user, yes, it will be licensed per user, sir.
Another question from Sir Fernando.
Oh,
Do you offer the Cisco Academy?
I can't really answer that question. Maybe I'm going to ask around. I don't have the information about Cisco Academy. I'm not part of the Cisco Academy team, so maybe I can ask around and then get back to you on this, Sir Fernando. Let me flag that question. But what do you mean by Cisco Academy? What do you mean by you offer Cisco Academy? Because what we do have is the Cisco University link or page where you can learn more about Cisco technology. So if you're keen into learning more about that, then I can maybe paste it here. But then again, I would like to know more about this offer Cisco Academy thing, sir. Program for IT professor to learn. Oh, there. So Cisco University would be Cisco U would be a good option. Let me just pull that link. This one, Sir Fernando. So I pasted the link for our Cisco University. So everything that we have on our Cisco technology, you can learn from there. Right? Is it possible to connect from Fortinet, our existing firewall, to a zero trust network with zero Meraki? Yes, yes. The only thing though is that, yun nga, magiging manual yung pag-configure nyo ng site-to-site tunnel. So, ang mangyayari kasi is you need to connect your Fortinet going to the Meraki cloud or the Secure Connect cloud, right? So you have to configure the IP addresses manually on your Fortinet, and the passphrase, yung mga ganong things. After that, then yes, you can then create a policy inside the Meraki dashboard to steer yung traffic, no, kung para ma-access nila yung application behind that Fortinet firewall. Yeah. Was I able to answer your question, Sir Nicanor? So, ayun, Sir Fernando, I will have to check if I'm pretty sure it still exists. I'm sure I still hear about that program, but I'm really not familiar kung ano yung nangyayari na sa program na yun. But I may have to ask somebody here at Cisco. Then I'll get back to you about that NetAcad.
So we're receiving here another question, sir, from Sir Voltaire. Do we have a product line best fit for SMEs? As I understand, Meraki is more on the enterprise market.
Do we have a product line best fit for small? Well, actually, Meraki is fit for down market. I would say it's not really well. It is. We can cover enterprise and small medium businesses, but yeah, it's more fit for the down markets, right? So, but if you're keen into learning more about other firewalls, we do have our FTDs or our secure firewall, right? If you're keen into learning more about it, then maybe we can set up another session and discuss what our secure firewall capabilities are. AI features, not at the moment, no. Not at the moment. Our secure firewall though has AI functionality. So might be a good idea to look into it. Or if you're, again, keen into learning more about our secure firewall, then maybe we can set up another session specifically discussing about our secure firewall. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have AI capabilities on the dashboard itself, but they're looking into it's kind of a roadmap, so please don't take my word for it. But yeah, they're looking into adding AI functionalities there as well. But yeah, I'm not sure about the timeline.
Sir, another question here from Sir Angelito Martel. Instead of a per user license, do you offer any subscription-based licensing options?
It's actually a subscription-based licensing, sir. Per user, subscription-based. So you have to select a number of users that you want to get protected, and then you will select the number of years that you would like to purchase. Right? So it's both you per user and a subscription-based licensing, sir. I hope that makes sense, Sir Angelito.
All right. So another follow-up question from Sir Angelito. No minimum users,
As
Sir
far as
Franz?
as far as I'm aware of, no minimum users. But I'll have to verify that. But the last time I checked, no, there's no minimum users. I think I have a question from Sir Ken. Last question: are Meraki protected networks completely safe from unknown? Well, Sir Ken, that's actually a good question. Ano? I can't really tell you, or I can't really say on behalf of Cisco that we can guarantee 100%, 100. We can guarantee you 100% that you can't be hacked, right? So unfortunately, Cisco is not going to sell you a silver bullet here, right? Neither are competitors. So if any vendor would tell you that they can provide you 100% security from this hackers or attackers, they're outright lying in your face, right? So unfortunately, we don't provide silver bullet. That's the reason why we have this thing called uh, excuse me, this defense in-depth approach. So what that means is every step of the way you have to have some sort of security capability, right? So if you have to have an email security, you have to have a DNS layer of security, you have to have an identity security to prevent someone from stealing your passwords, you have to have an endpoint security. That way, if anybody drops malicious files in your workstation, you can quarantine it. So again, it's a defensive in-depth approach. And even though you have the best of the best tools, right? For sure, no one can guarantee 100% security, right? So it's all about lessening the probability that you. It's all about making it as harder as it is for an attacker to infiltrate your network, right? Para maisip nila napakahirap i-attack nitong workstation, nitong organization na to. Is it really in our best interest to attack them, or we're just wasting our time? Para doon sila mapaisip. So if you're very hard to attack, then let's move to a different company that doesn't have a good set of security tools.
All right. Thank you, Sir Franz. And we're still receiving a lot of questions here, sir, no? So,
May tanong galing kay Sir John, Ma'am Hannah, who should
yes,
we
sir.
contact if we have other questions? So I'll redirect you to ARK ONE. Please reach out to ARK ONE. Miss Winalyn is there to answer your sales questions. Yeah, and Ardent is backing us up as well. So yeah, you can reach out to ARK ONE.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So,
Sir
another,
Angelito asked, can this integrate with Active Directory? Definitely yes. Yes, sir. Both the Meraki MX and both the Secure Connect. You can integrate it with Active Directory.
all right. So for any unanswered questions from our partners, rest assured we'll be reaching out to you via email along with the rest of the details. Partners, so thank you for all the partners who participated in this question and answer. And thank you also to Sir Franz. Thank you so much to our panelists. And now, before we officially wrap up this Q&A, we'd love to hear some parting words from our dear panelists. So let's start with Sir Erwin. Hi, sir.
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, so yes, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for joining us. Your presence and your engagement have made this webinar very interesting. And today we actually have learned about the critical importance of cybersecurity and the innovative solutions of Cisco which they offer to protect our digital world. Today's webinar, by the way, is just part of a series of our webinars where we share technology through our subject matter experts. So friends, stay tuned for our upcoming webinars and feel free to reach out to ARK ONE for any consulting needs and further discussion on cyber security. And lastly, I would like to acknowledge our speaker, Franz, for sharing his invaluable insights and knowledge about cybersecurity. I also want to appreciate the project marketing team headed by Hannah for planning and organizing this event. I also would like to acknowledge the support of our business development team from Luzon, Ruel Abustan, Victor Brigino, Marifel Crucero, our business development team from Dismi, and of course, Elaine Arabe, Michael Shocon, and Glenn Mojeres. So as I close, I would like to borrow the quotation again of Stephanie Napo. He mentioned that it takes 20 years to build a reputation and a few minutes of cyber incident to ruin it. So again, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and a few minutes of cyber incident to ruin it. But worry not, friends. Here at ARK ONE, we have always got you covered digitally and beyond. It has been a pleasure connecting with all of you today. Maraming salamat and I look forward to seeing you again in our next cybersecurity talks. Hannah?
Thank you so much, Sir Erwin. And next, from our esteemed speaker today, Sir Franz.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, sir. And thank you for everybody who attended the session today. I really appreciate the time that you've allotted for this session. So I really hope that learned something out of the session today, right? And I haven't wasted 2 hours of your time. But yeah, I really want to thank ARK ONE for organizing this session and for um, spearheading the initiative for the importance of cybersecurity in today's world, right? And yeah, if you have any security requirements, as you saw earlier, we have tons of security tools that we have at Cisco, right? For sure, something would fit into your needs. So please look at security first, Cisco Security First, and ARK ONE is there, right? They're very fit to handle all your queries, right? Please sit down with them, tell them all your pain points, tell them all of your requirements, and then they can recommend the right solution for you. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Franz. And next, Miss Marife. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, thank you, Han. So again, thank you, dear partners, for joining us today. We hope you found the session informative and valuable. So if you have any further questions or would like to dive deeper into any of the topics covered, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.
Thank you, Miss Marife. And next, Sir Victor. Hi, Sir Vic.
Again, thank you everyone. We look forward to be of service to you soon. Once again, salamat po.
Next, Sir Michael. Hi, Sir Alain.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for attending today's session, and we look forward to talking to you individually.
Thank you, sir. And Sir Glenn from
Yes,
Vismin.
maayong hapon sa tanan. As always, we are grateful and thankful to you everyone. No? Salamat sa pag-join, and then as always, see you next time. Thank you guys.
Last but not the least, our pre-sales engineer, Miss Rinalyn de la Cruz.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining po this webinar. So as mentioned then by Sir Franz, it's important yung cybersecurity and prevention is better than cure. Nothing is silver, silver bullet proof na ano. So hopefully with this, all of this information that was given to us by Sir Franz, hopefully po we'll have a call, a discussion, ARK ONE and us, and then let's check po your requirements, your pain points, and then we'll have a proper solution that is fit for your requirements that will, you know, help you prevent yung mga cyber threats na meron tayo. So, hoping to talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, our dear panelists. And now, are we all excited to win some GCash raffle prizes? If yes, please drop your favorite emoji in the chat. So we'll be having 10 lucky winners of GCash prizes sponsored by Arden. So thank you so much, Arden. Pero bago po tayo mag-raffle, let's take a quick group photo. Kindly turn on your cameras, partners, and show us your best smiles. So can we see all those beautiful faces? Ayan. Thank you so much, partners. So let's have this group photo. Ayan. Ayun. All right. So let's have a group photo in 3, 2, 1, smile. Ayan. All right. So another one po. Let's do the ARK ONE pose. Can we do the ARK ONE pose? Ayan. Thank you, partners. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Thank you so much. And now, the moment of truth, the moment that we've all been waiting for, the raffle. And with that, I'd like to turn it over once again to Marge to lead us through the draw. Take it away, Marge.
Thank you once again, Miss Hannah. And hi again, partners. I'm sure marami na ditong excited kung malaman kung sino ba ang ating not just 6 but 10 raffle winners. So, who will also be receiving 500 pesos GCash prizes and still sponsored by our partner, Arden. So, once again, thank you, Arden. So, be sure po na nakasagot kayo sa survey form natin and stand by. Baka kayo ang maswerteng napili ng roleta for today. So, kung hindi man kayo nanalo sa game natin kanina, malay nyo po dito, manalo na tayo sa ating raffle round. So, ready na ang Wheel of Names natin. Sana ready na rin kayo, partners, because we will roll our first winner. Sino kaya? Let's spin the wheel. Sino kaya ang ating maswerteng first winner? Ayan na, ayan na. Sino kaya? Let's see. Congratulations, Mr. John Alex Rodriguez. So, congratulations po, Sir John. And for our second winner, sino kaya ang mananalo na ating 500? 500 din yun. Okay, congratulations, Mr. Vincent Ramos. So for our third winner, sino naman kaya ang mapipili ng ating Wheel of Names? Sino kaya? Congratulations, GL Juventud. Ay, may slash siya. Mr. Adrian Fernandez. So, congratulations po. And for our fourth winner, we have, sino kaya ang mapipili ulit? Si Mr. Kim John Paul D. Inoy. Parang puro lalaki pa ang napipili ng ating Wheel of Names. Sino kaya? Babae naman kaya ang susunod or lalaki pa rin? We'll see. Fifth winner na po ito. Who will be our fifth lucky winner for this raffle? Lalaki pa rin si Mr. Roderick A. Palparan. Congratulations po. And for our sixth winner, sino kaya ang lucky winner natin for our sixth for worth of 500 pesos? Si Mr. Fernando A. Belarmino. So congratulations po, Mr. Fernando. And for our seventh winner, sino kaya? Drum roll na. Pang-7 na to. Last 4. So, we have Sir Stephen Hodson Bato. So, congratulations po, Sir Stephen. And for our 8th winner, we have drum roll. Mr. Michael Amaliona. So, congratulations po, Mr. Michael. And for our 9th winner, kinakabahan ng iba dahil marami pang hindi napipili. Okay, we have Mr. Darrell Bernardo. So for our 10th winner and our last winner, we have drum roll. We have Mr. Mark Olan Paclarin. So congratulations po to all our winners. So to claim your prizes po, please send an email to hannah_vistal@ark-one.com.ph. The email details are located on the chat box. So ayun, congratulations po to all our winners. So back to you, Miss Hannah.
Thank you, March. And to formally close our session for today, may we call on the man behind ARK ONE's commitment to delivering future-ready IT solutions. Let us all welcome our CEO, Engineer Erwin Padrique. Hi, sir.
Hi, Hannah. Again, salamat for the opportunity to formally close our event. So, friends who have taken your time to be with us today, maraming salamat. I hope you've learned something, and please do feel free to reach out to our business development managers for any questions, for any conversations you may wanted to have, or for any consultations. Please feel free to reach out. We're here for you. Salamat ng marami. Hannah?
Thank you so much, Sir Erwin. And that's it. Thank you so much, partners, for your time. To ARK ONE team, Ardent, and most especially Cisco Meraki, Sir Franz. And to all our partners who joined us today, see you on our next Cybersecurity-Talks session. This has been Hannah and Marge, your hosts for today. Thank you and daghang salamat, partners. Bye!
Ma'am Hannah, pasend po ng recording.
Yes, yes, sir. We will upload it on our YouTube channel, sir, and we will send it through email po.
Igna lang si Marife. Isend sa kuha.
Yes, sir.
Sa
Okay,
Marigold.
thank you po. Okay, noted po on that, sir. Marigold. Thank you po.
Salamat kayo.
Salamat kaayo, sir.